I get asked an awful lot about how to make the best method mix up to go with the stones. Well, hopefully this little demo will show you. So I would suggest you always start off, here we've got some Carp Crush, putting about half a bag in. Never pet too much in, because what will happen is if you make it too wet, you'll have nothing to dry it out with. But I always make it little enough, and I like to make it fresh it up. Now the way I tend to put it, because I'm fishing in this place, I'll be fishing with a jungle squab, so I'll always cut up a load of squabs of whatever I'm using, whether it's shelf life or frozen, and I'll add them into the mix as well. I want something substantive to when the mix breaks down that basically the fish can hold on to and keep on coming to the swim. I want my method mix to break down, so I always add some of the naturals which are full of dry air. So basically when they're in the mix, they'll break up, the air will cause the mix to break up. So all I'm going to do now, first of all, is give that a good old mix in. And the next stage is water. Now the warmer the water, the colder the water will react differently. So just little and often. So what you don't want to do is make it too wet, and then you end up having to put more mix in and keep on mucking around. And to be quite honest, I really look at, yes, you'll get a little bit messy, but it's like riding a bike with our mixes. Once you've learned it, now what you want to do is keep on fluffing the air in. It's almost like baking a cake, I suppose, in many ways. You're fluffing that air in, getting all the water all around it, so it's still too dry. And I know, obviously, I've been making this for years, when I get to that stage, if I make it a little bit too wet, I'll just add a little bit more, but I won't ever make it too dry or too wet, because both basically will fall off the feeder regardless of a stone or not. And obviously I'm using the method feeder, my stone is the method feeder. When it breaks down, all I'm left with is stone next to my hook bait, and not some obtrusive lead and metal thing that I had historically used. And without a shadow of a doubt, the reason, in my opinion, is the method blows. It's not the method mix. You know, this can't blow. This is really good fish food. It's basically the fish shy away from that great big lump of man-made. The most obtrusive piece of terminal tackle is the method feeder. So now I know I'm keeping on fluffing and getting it there, getting all that air in there. And then basically I know now it's almost like a paste, all right? And you want it to get a paste. And so, like I say, if it's too wet, it'll just fall off the stone. Too dry, it'll just fall off the stone. And I'm not shy with the pressure I'll put on this. So what I'll do next is I'll literally get a handful like that. I'll just flatten it down. My favourite setup, which is my stone, steam link and squab, pop up in this case. And all I'm literally going to do is properly put some pressure on there. Those hooks are so sticky. So I'm really putting some pressure. Now, you can shape it into really aerodynamic shape. Hopefully what I've done there. And I know that when I cast that out, that's really anti-tangle. And right next to my hook bait, when this breaks down, is going to be a great big load of food. I mean, it's just an amazing tactic. What I'll try to show you now is I'm just going to put that there, get rid of all these bits and pieces. And I'm going to get a water tank, and I'll just pop it into the water. And basically, you know, when you cast that out, that is literally going to end up as is. The more naturals I put in there, the more that mix will break down, the quicker it will break down. But basically I know I've got a really good amount of ground bait right next to that hook bait, anti-tangle, real food. To be quite honest, I really can't see how I can beat that system. I manipulate the hook bait, chop up little bits. I might add some hemp, or you might add some maggot into the mix. But in essence, that is the stone system. That is how to make the method mix. Any questions, give me a shout. It really is very easy. I say once you get used to making it, it's like water off a duck's back. And this is that mix after about 20 minutes or so. You can see it's all broken down. The bait's just hanging, sat in that pile of food. All the little bits are broken down. Jungle squabs there. And the thing is, when you agitate that, and what I'll do is I'll just put my hand in there, and you can see what happens when fish are moving around it. You know, it just clouds up, it sends all of that stuff around into swim, around the undertow, just drawing fish in. And I say, not that you can really see now, But sat now when it's broken down isn't a great big lump of man-made lead and plastic being the normal method feeder. We've got just a stone, totally unobvious, innocuous, and yeah, that's really what the system's all about. So in essence, if you can imagine, that's just a natural stone pinning your line in position, which the fish can't sense, and your hook bait. So in some ways, I look at it, you're almost like free lining on the bottom. So yeah, it really does make sense, and it really is a massive advantage, and hopefully you'll try that and come back and report to us and tell you it's working for you like it does for us. Anyhow, good luck, and I say any other questions, just give me a holler. Cheers.